How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to New Mexico State Men's Basketball News. I'm Marshall, and today we're talking about the Aggies' huge win last night on the road against a really good Jacksonville State team. So good to the point where they're number one in the conference and still are number one, even though we beat them. We're number 6. If we can win tomorrow against Kennesaw State, who we lost to at home in a disappointing way after leading by double digits and then losing by double digits at home, we can beat those guys that they beat UTEP last night. We can beat them and then UTEP loses to Jacksonville State. 2 very possible outcomes. I feel like that could happen. We could definitely move up to 4th in conference and still have a chance to finish, just really high. It's gonna be hard to do, but we gotta control what we can control. We can't control how other teams play, but we can control how we play and how we play against them with our great defense, which we did against last night. I think we held Jacksonville State to shooting like 30%. We didn't shoot the greatest either, but we also didn't shoot terrible compared to like the 8 games in a row where we just shot really bad. Didn't shoot the ball as good as we did against FIU, but shot it well enough to almost win by double digits, and we had a 17-point lead at one point in the game early in the second half. Won by 9, so I guess they kind of cut into it a little bit, but it was like never a point where they were gonna seriously make a comeback. We were by like 7. I think they got within 6 with like 30 seconds, but at that point again, the game was already over. Scored 3 straight at the end of the game, hit some free throws. Some players stepped up. Let's get into it. I am liking this new starting lineup. Coach Hooten did say in the post-game conference that he's been really close to starting Jacoby, so don't be surprised if you see that in the upcoming games. He played very well at the bench, had 6 points, had some really good dunks. He's played very well overall. He had a nice dunk even in the game against FIU. He's had nice dunks all year long, and he's looking like a player that can be very good. I saw James Buck on Twitter saying that he could be like the next Daniel Mullings. That's obviously some high expectations to live up to, especially since we just saw Daniel Mullings the other day at the Hall of Fame inductory at halftime. He played well but didn't start, but again, don't be surprised if he starts soon, especially tomorrow possibly against Kennesaw State. The Shimanga brothers have just played well overall together in the starting lineup. Throughout the year, they've been both kind of underwhelming, I would say. And I think a lot of fans would say that. But the past couple games, they've really stepped up, done a lot of great things. Again, you look at the stat sheet, like, okay, they didn't do much, but you watch the games, you see how effective they are. Then they both scored about 5 points, both grabbed a lot of rebounds, just over 5, like 6, 7 rebounds, I believe. Peter Filipovic, in his first game back, came out the bench and had 20 points and 12 rebounds to secure the double-double. He's our leading scorer, our only guy to get in double figures. And then Jacksonville State, Pierre guy, the guy who averaged like over 20 a game, had 30 points, but I think he took like 23 shots, didn't shoot the ball well, like 8 for 23 or something like that. So I thought we played pretty good defense on him. The only thing I would say about the Shimanga brothers is, even though they did get some good rebounds, Amanda did a great job guarding that number 50 guy. Can't remember his name, but he dominated against us last time. He didn't even score this game, but he did grab 10 rebounds, 3 of them being offensive rebounds. And Rob gave up some of those as well, so need to fix that up a little bit. Rob didn't have his greatest game, 0 for 4 from the field. I believe he shot 4 threes, missed them all. So didn't score just like a couple games ago. He played a lot better against FIU. Even though we've seen him playing better on the road a lot of times, I feel like Rob is a guy that plays better at home. Personally, at least in my opinion, that's what I think. But hopefully he can get a big bounce back game tomorrow. He had a great game on the road against UNM where he had 20 points. I think it was his best game all year long. And it's funny because I was talking to my friend Gabe the other day, talking about how I think the only guys that scored 20 this season were Rob and Cook, and I can't remember if Peter had got on that. I literally just couldn't remember the top of my mind. And then obviously he just did it last night, so that was cool to see. Cook had a respectable game, 9 points on 4 for 8 shooting, over 2 from 3. Missed a free throw, but made one, I believe. So he didn't play his greatest game in the world, that we're accustomed to a lot of times. We also didn't play bad. We haven't seen a Cook masterpiece in a while, but I'm expecting one very soon. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. Let's see if I call it, and we'll talk about it on Sunday. I just did this like Aggie up. That's cool. Zoddy Jackson had back-to-back really good games at home against Liberty and FIU. He combined for 39 points. I think he had 18 against Liberty, then 21 against FIU. My friend Miguel, who doesn't go to the games that much, went to those 2 games and he popped off. I told him he was a good luck. Last night, though, Zoddy didn't have his greatest game, only had 9 points. He was only 1 for 10 from the field, but had 8 free throws, made 7 of them. So even though he didn't have his greatest shooting night, he still shot really well from the free throw line. That's something he's kind of struggled with here and there. He's really inconsistent with that. Same with Jaden Harris, but he's also been more consistent with that recently. Deontay Bostic, again, you look at the stat sheet, looks like he didn't do much, but you watch the game, he definitely facilitated our offense, did a lot of great things, got the teammates involved. Gabe Pickens only played about 5 minutes. Jacoby played, like I said, 21 minutes. He played really well, played a lot of minutes. Expect those 2 guys again just to be a bright future for the Aggies, and hopefully we can keep them no matter how great or good they get in the future. Hopefully they can be loyal and stay with the Aggies for 4 years, because that doesn't happen often. Like I said, Daniel Mullings is one of the last guys to do that, and so maybe Jacoby, people are comparing them. Maybe Jacoby can do the same thing, stay here for a while. Maybe Gabe can do the same thing as well. Maybe Carl Scherenfront, stay here for his last 2 years after this. Get all the young guys to continue to improve and do great things, and just be there for our future. Speaking of Carl, he actually didn't play last night. I think the biggest reason he was playing is because Peter was out, but Carl still showed why he deserved to get some minutes. I'm hoping that he still gets in the game. I know the rotation, especially in conference, is always going to shorten up a little bit, but he did a lot of good things. I don't think he scored last game, but the game before that, he had like 6 or 7 points and didn't miss a whole lot of shots, did a lot of great things on defense. So hopefully he's a guy that can, just get into the game a little bit more, because I like what I've seen when he's got in during conference play. We talked about this a lot on the channel. I think coach, head coach, Coach Huden, even assistant coach Darren Thomas, a lot of the guys on the team have talked about it, how this is a really deep team. I feel like most of the guys on this team are starter caliber players. Like Carl started some games early on, and now he's not playing at all. But I still think Carl's a starting caliber player for this team, and can probably start for a lot of mid-major programs in the country. He played at Memphis last year, didn't play a whole lot, and they're doing really great this year. But he has that experience, so, and he was a top 100 player in his class. Like he's just super skilled. Gabe and Jacoby, like 3-star athletes. I mean, the list goes on, and those guys are all guys. I mean, Jacoby's been getting more minutes recently. Gabe's been in the rotation all year long, but isn't a guy that's like a starter or anything like that. But those guys all have potential to be great, and that just makes this team so much better. 14-12 overall, 7-6 in conference. You look at that, you're like, okay, that's really good. But at the same time, I feel like we can be much better. Like we could have like maybe 2 or 3 extra conference wins, maybe 4 or 5 more wins overall. This team has the potential to be like a 21 team. They won't be able to get 20 wins in the regular season, but if they can pop off in the Conference USA tournament, then they definitely can. This team's offense could be just as good as their defense, and they showed that the past couple games. The defense is what's been helping them win games. Like last night, again, holding Jacksonville State to shoot like 30% of the field, shot like less than 20% from 3. I mean, so do we, but we shot a lot better from the field, about 41%. So you'll take that any day of the week. Not saying shooting 41% isn't the best thing in the world, but when you can hold your opponents to shoot less than that, and you can shoot better than them, obviously, you'll take that anytime. My friends and I were talking about it. We believe that, honestly, we're like the best defensive team in Conference USA, because teams shoot really low percentages against us, and we are like, I think we're probably still top 20, maybe top 30 in the nation with like how low our opponents shoot against us. But our offense struggles have just been there all year long. But again, we have a lot of really great offensive weapons, and I think they're starting to show that a little bit more recently. Just got to get hot at the right time, and I feel like Peter's coming out at a perfect time. He wasn't even 100%, and he had arguably his best game of the season in his first game back from sickness. He's probably frustrated with how he played in that UTEP game. He was sick, probably didn't make excuses for himself. Only had 3 points and 2 rebounds, and then just played way better. I mean, like his stats were like 10 times better. It's almost March, and that's when the magic happens. Let's see if the Aggies can make a big run. We've won 2 in a row. Let's see if that's the start of anything. Like I've said many times on this channel, and you guys have noticed it, they go on big runs, whether it's wins or losses. And I was talking to my friend Diego about this morning when I was staying at work. Won 3 straight at the start of the year, lost 5 straight, then won 8 out of 9, then lost 6 out of 7, and now we've won 2 in a row. So we'll see if they can keep it going. I don't know. This team's just so like they're unpredictable. I mean, they beat the number 1 team in the conference last night, and they could beat Liberty. They lost by 10. They didn't shoot the ball great. I think if they shoot the ball just as well as they had the past couple games, they win those 4 home games that they lost. They're 8-5 at home, 6-5 on the road, and then they 0-2 those neutral games. In conference, though, they've been better on the road. Like you look at their home and away record, it's pretty much the same almost. Obviously, we played a little bit more home games, so it's gonna be a little better. But in conference, I believe we're only 3-4 at home and 4-2 on the road. So if you can win big road games, that's awesome. I think we're like probably the best road team in Conference USA. And then at home, we're probably about even with some other teams. Not as great as some other teams. Liberty's actually really good on the road too. I'd say that us and Liberty are probably the top 2 teams when it comes to being on the road. Hence why they beat us, while we were at home and they're on the road. Anybody can beat anybody on any given night. Sam Houston beat Jacksonville State last week, and Jacksonville State's lost 2 games to one being Sam Houston, who's toward the end of conference, then us who are in the middle, and they're still number 1. But if they keep losing and we can keep winning, or even if Sam Houston wins some games, they could get out of that bottom spot, maybe move to 8th or 7th, and have a better shot at winning the tournament. I mean, they were the number 1 seed last year. They still have some, they have the same head coach, probably some same coaching staff, same players. I think that was the thing, like Lamar Wilkins. I can't remember his last name, but that dude averages like just under 20 a game. And then Jacksonville State's got some dogs at the pure guy, number 5. The same dude that at the basketball game against us at home, like some dude threw the ball, he didn't even hit him, but it hit his leg. He looked back and he was pissed off the student section. It looked like he was looking at all of us. And then I was like, dude, just relax, chill. It's fine, all right? He looked at me at one point and was pretty pissed off. I was like, dude, I didn't do a thing. Just stop looking at me, bro. It's good to get the bounce back. If he didn't do that, maybe they would have won. I'm just joking. But I think that's going to close it out for the video. Let me know again if there was anything else that you guys thought helped us win that game. And do you think we can continue to win? We've won 2 in a row. When a lot of times you win 1 game, it's like, okay, this is just a fluke. But 2 is a winning streak. That's a winning streak. 2-game winning streak. Let's see if we can keep it rolling and make it 3 tomorrow. I think it's definitely possible. Kennesaw State's a really good team. They beat Rutgers early in the year when they were ranked 24th. I also think that they're a beatable team. I mean, we had a 14-point lead against them, 10-point lead at halftime, lost by 13, just fell apart. They went on an 18-2 run on the last, how long was it? We were up by we're up like with like 5 minutes, and then they just went on a big run in that game. So if we can do better on that, we played, in many tough environments like Middle Tennessee, UNM, UTEP, even FIU had a big crowd. I don't think Jacksonville State's crowd was the biggest last night, but we just been able to play well on the road overall. So let's see if they can continue to do it. I've been saying that all year long. They now have more wins than last year. They only had 13 wins last year, 14 wins this year. So that's good. It's improvement, at least a little bit, right? I think win at least 2 more games, which I think is definitely doable. And I think they'll win at least 2 more. They'll have a winning record in the regular season, at least, just that 500 record in conference. But I think they also get, maybe some more wins than just 2. Again, before the year started, I predicted them to get 18 wins, and they had to win 4 of these last 5 to make that, come true, which is definitely possible. 2 home games against really good teams like Middle Tennessee, who we beat, Western Kentucky, who we lost to by 30, but we could go bounce back, kind of like what UTEP did against us. So those are 2 winnable games. Obviously, a winnable game tomorrow against Kennesaw State, and then Sam Houston and La Tech on the road that we beat at home. See if we can be on the road. It'll be a little bit tougher, but again, we've been playing well on the road. Never know with this team. I can see this team losing their last 5 games. I can see them winning the last 5 games. I can see them winning a couple. I can see them losing a couple. I can see them winning 3 or 4. I could, see them lose 3 or 4. You just never know. I just want them to at least get 2 more wins to finish with a winning record. That would be great. Really positive, really good for the future. And I feel like it's only up from there. I would also love for them to get at least the 18 wins. That's what I predicted. But I mean, best case scenario is to win all of them, right? To get 19 wins. And then if they can win at least, one of the games in the Conference USA tournament, that would give them the 20. But hopefully they win all those games. And hopefully they can win all the Conference USA tournament games. I mean, like, look at last year, like UTEP, they got to the championship game. They lost to Western Kentucky, but they looked like a top 25 team at times. Both teams did. And UTEP almost made the tournament. And that would have sucked because GCU and UNM already made it. And UNM might make it this year too, but we still beat them at least. That's a good thing. And they just lost to Boise State the other day. They finally lost another game. They've only lost 2 games since we beat them. We kind of set a, I don't even know how I would describe that, but we kind of, set some fuel for them, I would say. But again, all we can focus on is ourselves. Let's keep winning. Let's, hopefully the team puts themselves in the best position possible to be successful for the tournament and have a good seed, hopefully like a top 4, top 5, maybe top 3 possibly, and have a chance at winning that tournament and making the NCAA tournament. If they did that in just a second year rebuild, it'd be awesome. Not saying it's going to happen. It's definitely possible, but it's definitely possible not to happen. You just never know. But I feel like, with the adversity and all that against us, I think we'll be there. And we've been a lot better on the road. So even if we have to travel to Alabama like we did last year when we were good on the road at all last year, I think we'll have a better chance to win some games. And hopefully we can get a lot of Aggie fans there. I won't be able to go, but, I'm sure a lot of Aggie fans will make the trip. And again, I'm wearing the Aggie basketball shirt, which I didn't even notice that. I just grabbed it this morning, put it on, and I was like, actually perfect for this video. Again, I've been, rambling on a lot. I'm going to close this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'm out.